Hello, greetings everyone. Welcome to another episode of UJ Sport on UJTV. My name is Collen Maepa from UJ Sport Communications. Today we have two amazing individuals in studio to talk to us about the UJ rowing team of the great University of Johannesburg. Our rowing teams, two of men's A teams and the ladies team, went to compete in the University Sports South Africa Championships in Port Alfred in September 2023. Of course, the two men's teams won bronze medals, and the ladies team just finished one spot shy of a bronze medal in fourth position. Of course, today in studio, I have Lyle Swanepoel, the men's captain, and Louise Passon, the women's captain. She also serves as a cox for both teams. Guys, welcome to UJ Sport on UJTV.
Thank you.
Let me start with you, Lyle. Can you please just share with us how is a day for a rower? How does a day for a rower start?
Yeah, so for a day, especially a training day, we'd wake up 5 a.m. We would try to get to Germiston Lake around 6. And then a typical training session would look like 20 Ks of rowing, which would usually take us between hour and a half, 2 hours. Sometimes we'll do some pieces, some sprints and stuff. After that, depending on how early the class is, either back home, eat some food, or straight to class. After that, the second training in the afternoon, so maybe an ergo, which is the land rowing, or a gym session. Usually between, again, another hour of training, and then after that just more varsity work, and then time for bed, do it again the next day.
Okay, is that the same for you, Louise?
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah. And you are a cox.
Yes.
Can you please just tell our viewers what is the function of a cox in a rowing team? What do you have to do?
So the cox basically sits at the front or the back of the boat, and they serve as the voice and the eyes of the boat, pretty much. So I get to see where we go, seeing as rowing is a backward sport.
Yeah.
And I steer the crews down the course, and I also have a little microphone. So I can make calls as to when to do pushes or when to pull hard on a certain side, etc.
So who hears you with the microphone? Your team members or people off the boat?
It's made for the team members.
So everyone has to have...
There's little speakers in the boat.
Oh, I see.
In different parts of the boat, so that everybody can hear me speak.
All right. So earlier on, when we were speaking on sports rep, the team asked me, what is a rudder? Because you guys, when you competed in the USA Championships, the males team, the men's A team, yes. You guys, you broke, you were rowing for 5 kilometers with a broken rudder.
Yes.
Of your boat. What happened there, and how did you manage to finish and win a bronze medal with a broken rudder?
The rudder's got little ropes that the cox can steer with, and then that will connect to the rudder behind, and it will move it side to side so that the boat can steer.
So it's more like a fin.
Yeah, like a fin.
For a fish to swim and change direction,
so
it has to
keeps
use
the boat straight,
the back fin. Yeah.
Keeps it balanced and helps you turn.
Yeah.
And those ropes, for whatever reason, weren't working during the race. So what Louise had to do was, there's like a little cover in the boat that covers up all the T-bar and that sort of stuff. She had to take that off and steer with the rudder behind her.
Yeah, yeah.
So
is it easy to control like that?
No.
No.
So you can ask her.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mission.
When did you realize that the rudder was broken?
It was in the first couple strokes of the race, the first few meters. So we were rowing against Stellenbosch, and they were pushing us over into the bank, which at first was their problem. But then when we had to start taking a corner of the river, our boat kept going straight, and we realized that we weren't turning at all, so our rudder had broken.
And how fast did you have to open and then control with your hand?
Well, then both boats clashed, and we had to restart again.
Oh, I see.
And then from there, like after we clashed, we were able to stop, and I put my hand
Start
in the back.
from the beginning, where the race started, or where?
We started from where we clashed.
Yeah, from where
we
clashed.
Like 200 meters or something.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much the start of the race, but we just started from where we clashed.
Okay. And the guys obviously went on to win a bronze medal. How difficult is it to achieve that if you were racing with such a malfunctioning boat? Is it difficult?
I think It did have an influence on how the race went in terms of the rudder influences the boat speed as well. So if you turn too hard, it slows down the boats, for instance, or if you take a corner a bit wrong, it could make the boys like row a longer distance than they would need to, for instance. But I think I like to think that it didn't impact their race too much, and I was able to steer decently with my hand behind my back. What was the question?
So you steer the boat for both the men's team and the women's team.
For both the men's teams,
Both
and I
the
row
men's
for
team
the
and
women.
then you row for the women's
Yes.
team. Is it a requirement or a rule within rowing that you need to have a female cox, or can anyone be a cox?
Yeah, anyone can be a cox. I'm not sure how recent, but there was change pretty recently where women can cox men's crews and men can cox women's crews. I think it's not like a physical aspect of the sport. It's more the steering.
Yeah.
Your lines are good and your calls are good, and you're light enough. Obviously, we got to carry you down, so you can't weigh too much.
I'm one of the lighter or the smaller members of the team.
Of the team.
So that's
I
why
see.
I ended up
Okay.
being the cox.
Yeah. So the men's B team won bronze as well, and they had 3 novices in there. We'll speak about them, but I want to find out: did you guys finish, winning the bronze? Was it because you had a broken rudder? Do you think if you had maybe a fully functioning boat, you could have maybe went on to win a silver or a gold?
Yeah. So the way the USA boat race works is we start off with a time trial. So all the vast universities go off one by one, and we race for a time of the full course. And we came 3rd in the time trial, which that will separate you into 2 boat finals. So you get the A final with the first 2 people from the time trial, and then the B final was with us, the 3rd and 4th. So even if the rudder was working, we're still racing the B final for the bronze medal.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like playing for third sport.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. And then the ladies, you finished 4th. You couldn't make it to your, podium finish with a bronze. And you went into the tournament wanting to finish with a bronze medal. Why was that?
Well, we had a couple novices in our boats and less experienced rowers this time around, so we knew that we weren't pushing for 1st or 2nd place. But for the past 3 years that I've been at UJ, like twice now, we've been able to place 3rd, so we were really pushing to get that again this year. But yeah, it was a very interesting race because I've been racing roads for the past 3 years, and this time we had Sellies, so that was a nice surprise.
What do you think happened that made you finish in 4th position?
I genuinely think it wasn't just that we had newer rowers coming into the club, we had novices. So I think if we had more time, especially next year, I think the girls will have a lot more experience and more maturity when it comes to training and being in the boat together, that we would be able to improve. We just didn't have a lot of time together as a full crew who knew how to row, if that makes sense.
A novice is somebody that's new in the team, right?
Yeah,
like
new to the sport
team member.
entirely. Yeah.
So the novice is someone it's their first season ever of rowing.
Yeah.
So they don't know any of the technique and sort of how a boat feels and that sort of stuff.
So they're still inexperienced.
Yeah,
in
so
some
they're
way.
still learning in a
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. So what does that do to the team? I mean, you had 3 novices in the team. Was it the junior, the men's speed team? Had 3 novices.
Yes.
How does that affect the performance of the team?
Well, I think it this year especially, I think it was very positive because the new guys, they bring a lot of like a really good culture of improving, because obviously they still need sport and they have a lot to learn and they continuously learning and improving. And I think that it was good for the B team especially because it just helps the whole crew in general sort of get that same like drive to improve themselves, even if they've already learned how to row. So I think it can be very positive, and I think it was for them. In terms of negatively affecting them, I think those guys are strong and they train hard, so they were fit, but it just comes down to like how effectively are they able to apply the power when it comes down to it.
And of course, you were competing in Eastern Cape in Port Alfred. You do that annually. It's an annual boat race. Why do you always have to travel there? Are there no other places that you have to compete? You can compete at in other provinces in South Africa?
I think a big factor has to do with the facility and if they're able to, what did you use? Like the infrastructure at the dams or the rivers that we compete at, if they're able to house as many athletes and have racks for the boats, etc. And courses that we're able to race down that are open to the public.
Oh, I see.
That won't interfere too much.
Okay. And then how many competitions do you guys participate in? I mean, we know with other sports, there's varsity sports, there's the leagues, and then there's the cup games. For you, which competitions do you participate in?
Yeah, so we have a few races throughout the year. We sort of split our season up into a sprint season and a boat race season. So the sprints being 1 or 2 kilometers. And then we'll have...
As that individual or team?
We race across a number of boat classes, so you can get individual races and a wide range. So 8-man boats, 4-man boats, 2-man boats, all that stuff. So we'll have our use of sprints, which we didn't attend that this year, unfortunately. But then we have the South African Championships, Gauteng Championships, VLC Sprints, Buffalo. Those are all regattas. Buffalo takes place in East London. And then for the boat race season, like you said, we go to Port Alfred every year, and that's the longer race, the 5-kilometer one. So we'll do quite a few races throughout the year.
What makes a great rowing team? If I had to join you guys, what do you think I should bring to the team?
I think good work ethic. I think for sure rowing it takes a while to get good at. And if you're willing to learn and you have good work ethic, that goes a long way. And then I think like good conflict management, that type of stuff. Just being able to get along well with people, because you're stuck in a little boat with a guy directly in front of you, directly behind you for an hour and a half every day. There can be some clashing sometimes. So I think if you can manage that properly, it'll be a really good fit. Yeah.
So Luis, maybe take us through the team members that you have in the women's team.
All right.
And who are new and who are senior? How many seniors do you have? How many juniors do you have? And where do you see them in the next, maybe say 2 to 3 years within the university calendar?
Well, for this boat race, we had 4 seniors and 4 novices. So out of our 4 seniors, we had our vice president, we had our treasurer, and we also had an indoor rowing, who's in charge of indoor rowing. So we had 4 seniors that were on the committee. So I think we've had that experience from rowing in school, rowing in varsity. 2 of them, this was their first year as seniors, but they did do rowing in school as well, so they were able to handle those challenges. And then we also had 4 novices, 3 of which started rowing this year for the first time, and another girl, Paida, who's been rowing for 3 years now, I think, as well, but she's never been to a boat race. This was her first boat race. So...
Can I join your team?
Absolutely.
Can I join the
We'd love to.
rowing team? Now, okay, and then let's maybe talk about the men's teams, and then we will go into the other stuff.
Yeah, so from the B guys, we had 3 first years, Aya, Apiwe and Luko. And those guys are from East London, and they study on Soweto campus. And so that makes the transport really tricky for them. But even though they still try their best.
Because your training is in Germiston.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
how many times do you go there? A week?
4 times a week. Yeah. So those guys will be really good in the future. I think they just enjoy rowing. So going forward, that'd be nice. And then the brand new guys to rowing, we had the 3 of them this year, Quinton, Dan, and Romeo. Also, I think will be fantastic going forward, and as they just keep improving and get stronger, they'll do a lot of damage in the future. And then, from the men's A side, we had Lindor. He was his first time racing in the A crew, and he did a fantastic job. So I think also going up for him. And then Dan Bassan, Vincent, both those guys in their first year still. So plenty of improving for them to do. And then I think we've got one guy leaving.
Is Dan your brother?
Yes, Dan is my brother.
Oh, is your brother?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I see. Okay. Please take us through the trip, the competition that you participated in Croatia early this year. I know that you competed against teams from Asia, Europe, and you were the only African team there?
Yes.
Yeah. Please just share with some of our viewers who may not have seen the articles or the social media posts, what went down there? I know that Africa finished ahead of the Asian universities there.
Yes, I won. What was really interesting, it was the Sveti Duže Regatta. So we competed in Split, Croatia this year. They invited us down, so that was a big opportunity for us that they paid for our flight, paid for our accommodation, etc. So we were able to go down and compete against universities like Harvard and Cambridge.
Those are top universities. When I saw them, I was like, wow.
Yeah, so that was really awesome.
And then you guys, for the African continent, you finished in fourth spot, eh?
Yes.
Fourth or third? Fourth.
We came fourth. So there was two races.
We had two different races,
there
yes.
were two races.
So the first race was the individual university race, and then the second one was they grouped you according to the continents.
Yes, that was the intercontinental
and
race.
Europe won the continental competition, and you then who came?
Then we came second. And then it was
the
Asia
Asian
came third. Yeah.
Does that mean we're good in Africa?
It means
We're good
second in the world.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just your experience there.
Yeah, a lot.
What did you learn there that you think you can apply here?
I think, we sort of built a lot of confidence racing against, a lot of top overseas universities.
Definitely.
So, we come back and we back ourselves a bit more, that we're able to, get really, really quick. And I think just overall experience, it's like such a beautiful town, Split, right on the coast. And Croatia is just a really beautiful country.
So where did UJ finish again? Fourth.
Fourth,
Yes.
yeah.
Among how many? Was it 9 universities in total? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I think
it was somewhere like
it was
13.
13 or something.
Yeah. But
Somewhere
if you
around
finish
there.
fourth, that means you are a stronger competitor there.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to juxtapose the two, right? You go and compete on an international stage and you finish fourth, and then you come and compete here in South Africa and you finish third and fourth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? The ladies fourth and then the men's third. Shouldn't you be then doing better here because you competed there and you did very well there? What would be the difference at a global stage and here locally?
It is interesting. I think it just shows how strong South African rowing is at the moment. I think
that was the biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
It's like to see how good South African rowing actually is if you had to compare it to overseas universities to finish more or less the same.
Yeah. Okay. And in the USAs this year, of course, UCT came first? Or was it Tux?
UCT.
No, it was
UCT was
UCT. Well,
first.
UCT for the men.
Yes. And then Tux came second? Was it the men's?
For the
Yep.
men.
Men's. And then third? UJ. Both the men's A and the men's B. And then fourth, it was the ladies.
Yes.
Right? Is it the overall competition results or was it done according to obviously the two genders, men's results, women's results?
It's done according to the two genders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the women, the Tux women won.
Tux women
overall,
is the one
and-
that won
yes,
gold.
and UCT won
UCT,
silver for the
silver,
women.
and then third,
Stellenbosch University.
Stellenbosch, and then UJ, and
Yes.
then the rest of the other universities. Okay, all right. And can anyone join your team? If I want to start rowing, but I don't know how to swim, I'm a black man. The stereotype is that black people don't know how to swim, right? Can I join the team?
Absolutely. It would be better if you knew how to swim, and we're going to try get that more. We're trying to be more involved with swimming lessons, I think, next season. So with our 3 novices, none of them knew how to swim. So when we went on camps, the ladies that did know how to swim helped them out a
Get
bit.
onto the boat.
No, they should, but we unfortunately didn't have enough. But we
What
only
happens
ever
then if one
trained.
tips over?
We only ever trained in big boats.
Yeah.
We never put them in the smaller boats that would put them at a risk of tipping easier. With the big boats, it's very difficult to tip. And we made sure that whenever the ladies that didn't know how to swim went out, that there was a coach in a motorboat with them at all times, making sure that they're
So any
supervised.
UJ student can join, and then you provide the swimming lessons later, just so that you're dealing with a
just
safer.
so they can at least float
or
or not panic when they fall in
they
the
don't
water.
have to swim like
Michael
swimming
Phelps,
South
no,
African.
none of that.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. What would you like to say to our viewers? Maybe they're seeing you here for the first time, and your coach, Mr. Sizwe Ndlovu, has been here before. But for you guys, what do you want to say to our viewers? Maybe you want to invite them to come and see you train, or do you want to? I mean, UJ supporters go and watch netball and football and other stuff elsewhere. How do they get in touch with you guys? Maybe to come and see you do your thing.
Yeah, well, we have an Instagram account, UJ Rowing. So if you really do want to get involved, send us a DM, and then we can inform you about all the training times and all those good things to really get involved with rowing. Yeah, and if you do want to come support, we do race quite far away most of the time in Pretoria at Ridderplaat Dam. So
do you go there as a team, or everyone has to, get themselves there?
It depends.
Yeah,
Sometimes we
depends.
organize a little combi to take a lot of people, or we give
so you
lifts,
do lifts, yeah.
amongst each other.
We carpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Interesting. Is there anything else that you want to say to our viewers, maybe?
Join UJ Rowing. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
thank you.
All right. These guys come from the UJ Rowing Club, and Louis Passon here is the captain of the UJ Women's Rowing Team, with Lyle Swanepoel, who is the captain of the men's senior 18, right? The
Yes.
18, yeah. The two teams did very well in Port Alfred in the university sport competition this year, winning bronze medals for South Africa. Unfortunately, the ladies just finished in the fourth spot. They're missing on a bronze medal as well. All right, so Louis Passon and Lyle Swanepoel, thank you very much for being part of this special episode here on UJ Sport on UJTV. My name is Collen Maepa from UJ Sport Communications. We'll see you in the next one.
The University of Johannesburg, the future reimagined.